One of the common questions that comes up under a letter of intent is, can I extend my letter of intent? And there's a couple of different answers. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live from Consulting Secrets on a perfect day to talk about letters of intent, growth, opportunities, selling your business, and a fantastic day to talk about you. Coming live from Sacramento. All right, a letter of intent, if you didn't know, is like an engagement. It's saying we're putting a ring on this situation and we would really like to purchase your company. And with a letter of intent comes a lot of due diligence. And so sometimes what will happen is company A that wants to sell gets under due diligence and they're not really prepared. And so things take a little bit longer than normal. So seller goes to buyer and says, is it possible for us to extend our letter of intent? And if it's a good company, if you have got a good relationship with them and they've got a good relationship with you, there's probably a 90% chance it's going to get extended. Okay? Because there might be a thing that they need to do on their end too. Just like this may be reciprocal. It might be extended on your end. It might be extended on their end. Okay? One of the things to be aware of when it comes to extending a letter of intent is you may be the person that initiates it because you're trying to decide if the deal is what you want. Okay? So, real example, let's say that you're trying to decide between a stock purchase and an asset purchase. Well, there's tax implications for you either way. And I'm not an accountant, attorney, marriage counselor, or therapist. So, like, you really want to talk to a qualified person for this. And so sometimes it takes a little bit of time depending upon how in-depth your investments are to know, hey, do we do an asset sale or a stock sale? Because it's going to have implications. In some instances, if you can file a Section 1202, you may not have to pay federal taxes at all. And so if that works for you, it may be a better thing for you to take a stock purchase. But be aware that as you're going through this and you're taking a look and you're saying, hey, what are the opportunities? There may be a point where you're like, I really want to do this deal, but the guts tell me I shouldn't. In whatever way you're going to deal with it. I mean, some people, like I'm out at the river. Some people go to the river, the ocean, beach. Some people go to their church or their synagogue or whatever they have. And they put a lot of thought to it. Some people go out of town and go on vacation and say, hey, I'll make a decision when I come back. And they just got to run it through their mind. So can you extend a letter of intent? Absolutely. Can you do it a bunch of times? Your buyer is going to start saying, hey, how come you're not ready? We're getting scared. So I've been involved in a couple of deals where the letter of intent was extended to us on my team for the buying side. And I've been on the advisory role where somebody needs to extend. And the company goes, yeah, no problem. No problem. But here's the thing. Talk to an attorney because you may want to get this in writing saying, hey, can you email it to me that you're approving? I wouldn't do this via the phone. This is just me. Right? So that's why I'm like, hey, talk to an attorney. And say, hey, what are the terms of me asking for a little bit longer? And some people are like, hey, just take your time, right? We'll move it back a week. We'll move it back 30 days. But be aware that that may take your timeline because based upon what you do, they may have to jockey their positions. They may have other deals in the pipeline. And if they've got other deals in the pipeline, then what's going to happen is you may lose some precedence. This is why you want to have your Titans thesis. This is why you want to be prepared before you go to the market, before you go to sell, so that anything that comes up minus you making the decision, right? You got a 10 million company and it's doing 2 million in profit or 3 million in profit, EBITDA. And you're like, do I stay or do I go? Do I stay or do I go? But that window of opportunity you have is limited. It's not unlimited. You don't have an unlimited window of opportunity. And then here's the other thing. If that company is looking at other similar companies around you, you start looking not so good to them the longer that you drag your feet. And so this is why I tell people you want to be ready 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years out and worked on your identity. What are you going to do when you get out? What hobbies do you have? Where are you going to go? Are you going to move? Are you going to go do something different? These are all important things that can really screw up a letter of intent, but nobody really talked to you about them because they don't know or they just don't want to say it. So extend your letter of intent if you need to, but have a very good reason. But also be aware if you extend it, it may get extended on you. There you go. You got one of three things to do from here. One of three. Find the subscribe button. Click on it. Every time I send a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.